Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach, and today I wanted to take a look at Dan Houston. Now, he's a fella that is pretty popular, but someone that I just wasn't absolutely around coming into pre-season. I knew that he was sort of making a bit of a move into the midfield, but upon doing a bit of research, it's very much a permanent move. There were some impressive scores in the back half of last year, which we'll take a look into as well. So he really does have that breakout contender status. I mean, he's not cheap. He's 484k defender midfield, but he's got all the signs, and the fact that he's available in the back line really makes it a juicy option, because we want midfielders in our forward line, in our back lines. I mean, that's where the points are made. So he's played the 60 games, 22 years of age, he's nearly 23. He's in 18% of sides, and certainly there's a fair bit of backing for him. Quite popular. And Ollie Wines is also missing the start of the season, so he'll get a pretty good crack at it early on. Now, he did have a slight knee issue throughout January, but he's back to full training. But what people really want to focus on is the back end of last year. Now, overall, he averaged 89.3 last year, which prices him at that 484, which is pretty affordable. I remember looking at the premiums for the defenders, and he sort of fell just under a lot of the premium types that we discussed. So you're getting a little bit of value there. And if he can play midfield and play it well, permanently, find plenty of the ball, tackle hard, then he could easily average some good numbers. And we got a glimpse at that. I don't watch, stack of port games. I watch what I can, but, wasn't absolutely all over it. But taking a look at his statistics, and someone will be able to tell me exactly when he sort of made that move and when he was and wasn't playing midfield. But I just took a bit of a look at his disposals and touches and clearances, bit of SuperCoach stuff from round 11 onwards, because that was when the clearance numbers seemed to boost up, at least from a statistical point of view. He had 7 clearances, 28 touches, 98 SuperCoach in round 11, and then he was quite consistently in the 20s and having reasonable SuperCoach numbers at certain stages. There are a couple of drop-offs, but that could have been positional. But certainly the last month or so, where he scored 134, 88, 105, 117. And in that back half of the year, there were a few 90s and the odd ton as well. But certainly those clearance numbers boosted quite a lot. And, having a look at the old Google and doing a bit of research, Hinkley and the other coaches certainly talking about him being a genuine mid. So he's not in my team at the moment. And, obviously 18% of sides, it's nearly 1 in 5. And even the most popular tend to be in the 60 to 70% range. So he's definitely quite a popular choice at the moment. And I can see why. He isn't in my team at the moment, as I said. I mean, at this point in time, I've got Caleb Daniel, Sicily, Laird, and Doherty. Now, Doherty's a lock, and I'm a massive Caleb Daniel and James Sicily fan. And Rory Laird, he's probably a guy that has been a champion for us for a long time. Bit of a down year. Where on the flip side, Houston is a bloke that hasn't shown those numbers previously, but is showing every indication to do that. Now, he's a guy that I might put in my side throughout the pre-season. For me, I need to just see and watch closely through those practice games how he's travelling and positionally, and how much of the ball he's finding in the contest. But I guess it helps to have those practice games, because late last year, he was scoring well and that, but it sort of goes under the radar unless you're really keeping a close eye on him, or unless you're a Port fan, or unless you're watching the games. So now I'll be able to keep a real close eye on him, and if he's producing big numbers, I can certainly see why people are picking him, because defenders, sometimes they can be hit and miss. If we can find a player that is playing through the middle for his side, that's really, really positive. The fact that Ollie Wines is missing the start of season is good and bad. It's good because he'll get the opportunity early, but it's just bad because it would be great to see, because Wines will come back. I don't think it's too serious, but it'd be great to see how he works in with Wines in the side, and just exactly, sort of their best team. But, you might not have your best starting midfield all season, so he should get plenty of opportunity. So I will watch him pretty closely. I'd love to hear your thoughts on him. I know he's pretty popular, and And for me, I just need to take a really close look at him and really get stuck into those practice games and see how he's travelling. There's certainly scope for him to break into my side. As I said, he's not there at the moment, but he's in plenty of teams that I see, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of positive comments about him on this video. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're picking him and what his real pros and cons are as a footballer, because really I've only seen highlights and the odd game, because he's one of those players that, unless you're really looking out for him, he's just developing as a player and, coming in and establishing himself. So he'll certainly be front of mind now whenever I'm watching Port. So let me know what you think of him, and I'll be back soon with some more content. Cheers.